hello and a very warm welcome to yet another power-packed episode of Brand Equity with me, Sonali Krishna. The only advertising and marketing show that gives you a real peek behind the scenes. Let's get the show on the road, but first, here's what's going to keep you engrossed for the next 30 minutes. On the show, a peek into HUL's rural distribution model, a strategy that's now being looked upon as the real game changer for FMCG companies. Britannia reinstates its commitment to the health and wellness sector with new additions. We caught up with the Britannia MD, Vinita Bali, to find out whether the health and wellness space is a case of tall claims and small returns, or is it actually justified? And last but not the least, meet Charles Wright, Managing Director, Walpollens, who shares some interesting insights and case studies on brand makeovers and image building. Let's go straight to our top story. Rural retailing in India, believe it or not, accounts for 1.9 trillion rupees, with about 7.8 million retail shops out of a total 18.5 million in India. And that number has more than doubled in the last decade. Rural retail is growing so rapidly that it's being seen as the dominant force going forward in the retail landscape. As a result, distribution to these markets is being looked at as the real game changers for FMCG makers. And HUL is ensuring it's going all out to tap the rural gold mine. Kapur tracks HUL's rural distribution model and finds out what they're doing to stay ahead of the pack in the Indian hinterlands.
An indirect reach to 6.4 million retail outlets in the country. And a direct reach to over 1.5 million retail outlets spanning the length and breadth of the Indian terrain. We're talking about Hindustan Unilever's distribution model. But Paul Pullman, the CEO of Unilever, is a demanding man. And the pressure on Hindustan Unilever is not going to be easing off anytime soon. Hence, the HUL management is going all out to substantially increase its penetration in India's untapped rural gold mines. HUL currently has a direct reach of 1 million, and the big plan is to triple its penetration by expanding Project Shakti and to push its direct reach into villages or hamlets with a population of 2,000 or less. I'm at Arpur, a village 120 kilometers west from Pune, where HUL has drastically expanded its direct reach at the grassroots level. For the uninitiated, HUL's Project Shakti, which was launched in 2001, employs women from self-help groups to sell their products. These women, termed as Shakti Ammas, sell HUL products directly to consumers and retailers in the village. In 2010, the FMCG giant decided to take Project Shakti to a whole new level with the introduction of the Shaktimaan. The concept of the Shaktimaan, which is the male entrepreneur, was introduced to increase the scope and strengthen the reach in the hinterland.
So one of the things I'll tell you is that very often when people talk about rural, they think about a very basic distribution which we do there. But in our case, we've actually improved the quality of distribution as well. So each of our rural salesmen who goes to a small village actually goes with a handheld terminal. So every single salesman has a handheld terminal. We book orders through that. We capture data through that. And for even the smallest village retailer, we now have sales history, which goes back a year, because that's when we started. And we can now start using those analytics to make his business more efficient, so that he can keep the right SKUs, he can expand his assortment appropriately. And I think while people will catch up with us by reaching that village, it will be very difficult for people to catch up with the quality of what we do.
Most companies do a pilot in one district, and then when they take the same model to other districts, they find that the same facilities don't exist, and that's why the model is not scalable. So here we said these women's self-help groups exist in all parts of the country, and that's the reason why we chose this infrastructure. And women, of course, also have access to to finances because they can take loans from their groups. So we could take this across to every state, to every district of India. So Scalability is only possible if you use infrastructure that is universally available across the country.
Village women often frequent the modest home of 35-year-old Ashwin Kumar and his wife Rupali to buy HUL products. Rupali manages the store, while her husband, Shaktimaan, rides his cycle with company goods to retail shops in their village of approximately 2,400, as well as the other 45 villages nearby. While the Kumar family is not really stretched financially, they realized that they had the time to spare after selling their land, and the 2,000 rupee profits that they make from their monthly sales of approximately 40 to 45,000 is an added advantage.
यूनिलीवर का माल होता है, जो हिंदुस्तान लीवर का माल, वो सब प्रोडक्ट गांव में लेकर जो दुकान पे ले जाते हैं, जो होम टू होम करते हैं। जो शक्तिमान का काम वर्क होता है, वो हर काउंटर का ऑर्डर लेके हर काउंटर को माल देना और उनका ऑर्डर लेके डिस्पैच करना, ये शक्तिमान का काम है। इसमें से हमारे को मंथली 2,000-3,000 रुपए प्रॉफिट जो होता है।
And Rupali, who has been a Shakti Amma for 6 years, has seen the project grow along with her.
टीवी के माध्यम से हिंदुस्तान लीवर के आइटम की लोगों को पता चलता है, तो हमारे यहाँ वो आते हैं और प्रोडक्ट कौन कौन से है वो पूछते हैं, तो हम उनको नए नए प्रोडक्ट दिखाते हैं और वो ले जाते हैं। इसी से हमारी बेनिफिट बढ़ती है और हमारा ग्रोथ बढ़ता है।
Not only has television added to the variety in product offering, but she's seen the aspiration of the rural consumer develop too. So much so that even high-end products like Axe deodorant and Vaseline body lotion are in demand. In terms of the typical sales the Kumar family makes per month, they sell approximately 3 to 4 boxes of Lifebuoy, 25 to 35 boxes of Wheel Bar, 5 to 6 bags of 50 units of Pond's powder, and a box each of Clinic Plus shampoo and Fair and Lovely cream. And once the consumer has tried these products, they keep coming back for more. In fact, consumer loyalty in rural markets is seen as much higher than in urban ones.
Whichever brand moves into rural India first, and if it is reasonably accessible, then that becomes the preferred brand of that village. If you were to travel with me into rural India, I could show you Wheel villages, I could show you Nirma villages, I could show you Surf villages. So this is not because of an active loyalty towards the brand. It is because of a reasonable comfort with the brand, and therefore rural people tend to stick to that brand. So Unilever obviously has this huge advantage that it has been the first mover in most categories, and it's going to be difficult for any new FMCG company to try and displace Unilever.
During 2010 to 11, HUL has added over 600,000 stores in rural India, and with the Shakti network, they're aiming to reach 600 million consumers by the end of the year.
We have a portfolio of brands which spans across various categories, so therefore we get a certain critical mass even in the smallest villages, and most of our competitors would not have the scale and span of our portfolio. I think that gives us a big advantage. Second is we've used technology and analytics to get to the smallest of villages much earlier on, and I think that's of great value to us. And third is we've been very, very customer-centric in whatever we do. We are trying to capture data and information of all our retailers and see how we can improve our offerings for them. And I think those are the things which will set us apart compared to other people who get into this.
But what about the other FMCG giants? PMG's stated strategy is that over the next 5 years, they're looking at quadrupling their sales in the Indian hinterland. And in the past year, HUL's rival has doubled its distribution reach in Indian villages. Currently, PMG has a direct reach of about 1.3 million outlets in the country, while HUL stands at 1.5 million. Not a huge difference between the two, but what's still missing for PMG is the depth in their product portfolio.
In case of PNG, when you look at it's most of their products are primarily catering to the middle class or the upper middle class consumers. So I think that's portfolio and at the same time scale of the or the size of the company that's what makes a difference. In terms of returns, it's going to be better for HUL in the shorter term.
With less and less for FMCG companies to offer in terms of product innovation and pricing, distribution is being looked at as the real game changer going forward. And with CNG hot on their heels, the HUL marathon is far from over. But the company will undoubtedly enjoy its first-mover advantage for some time to come.
If you have to play the full India opportunity, you need a portfolio of brands from Nano to Jaguar, or from Wheel to Surf Excel Matic, or from Lifebuoy to Dove. Any company, any distribution system that has a fuller portfolio to offer will be able to selectively pick products and brands in their portfolio which are suited to the market and go further. So the broader the portfolio, the deeper can your distribution go into the Indian market.
Going forward, HUL plans to enhance its competitive advantage by building loyal consumers, forging long-term relationships, ensuring brand familiarity, and deepening its distribution model. The Indian FMCG giant has undoubtedly taken on a mammoth task. What they had achieved in 25 years, they plan to do this time around in just 2.
With that, it's time to slip into a quick break. When we come back, we get into a candid chat with Vinita Bali, the Managing Director of the channel. Stay with us.